Good evening and welcome to SACAP's virtual open day. I am your host, Lisanda. I am an online mentor at the online campus. Today's open day program will include, learning more about the study of applied psychology, management, and leadership at SACAP. Our admissions team will share information on our available programs, the application process, and our payment options. And then our work integrated learning team will take you through the practical component of some of our programs. Just a few house rules before we can proceed. So we will have a short Q&A session at the end of the presentation. Please send us your questions in the Q&A box, as you can see in the screen. And we are aware that there is high internet usage in the country that's slowing down connection in some areas. So we will provide you with links to our videos in the chat box towards the end of the session. Please be advised that we are still working from home, so you will hear an occasional microwave beep or a child screaming in the background. We do apologize. Okay, so without wasting any time, I'll just start by giving you an overview of our campus locations. Okay, so part of our campus locations is that we have the Cape Town campus, we have the Johannesburg campus, Pretoria campus, Durban campus, as well as our online campus, of which the online campus is comprised of the online live and the online flexi options, but that will be dealt with as we go through the presentation. So, right now I'll hand over to my colleague, Melissa, who will tell us a bit more about SACAP's learning approach. Melissa, over to you.
Thanks, Lisanda. Good evening, everyone. My name is Melissa Stemmers, and I'm the Teaching and Learning Coordinator for the online campus. Today, I'd like to take you through SACAP's approach to learning, as well as the 2 study options that are available specifically on the online campus at SACAP. This is quite an important section, as your teaching and learning experience will most probably be one of the most important experiences you'll have at SACAP. As you saw in the previous slide, we have established campuses in Johannesburg, Cape Town, Pretoria, and Durban, as well as a fully fledged online campus. It's important to note that SACAP has a number of principles that speak into our learning approach, and this approach is going to be the same no matter which campus you study on. The first thing to mention is that we have a student-centered approach to learning. What this means is that as adult learners, students have a responsibility to ensure that they are engaging in their studies. This engagement would be with your peers and your educators, as well as with your content. We place a high premium on engagement, and this is shown in a focus on module engagement. At the center of every module is an expert educator who will facilitate the learning journey for you. Your educator will be there to provide you with an interactive learning experience, support you academically, and guide you through your learning journey. Along with your educators, we have other support structures that are also available to students as well. You will hear more about these structures later on in the open day. We understand that as online students, some have life commitments that they may be juggling and other obligations while trying to study at the same time. These could include family commitments and full-time jobs. We have therefore designed a learning journey that allows you to be flexible while still remaining within a structured termly process. We believe in peer support and therefore encourage students to build a learning community within the class, with their peers and their educators. And finally, we pride ourselves on academic excellence. All of our modules consist of quality reading material, as well as academic assessments that will form part of your final grade for each module. These assessments usually take the form of essays, case studies, and group projects, just to name a few. So, moving on to SACAP study options. As mentioned before, SACAP has 2 different modes of learning, namely face-to-face and online. Within the online campus specifically, we have two different study options available. The first option is one that we call online flexi. It's an active, engaging, and collaborative learning experience that gives students the independence to meet their weekly course requirements at a time, place, and pace that suits them best. Our flexi option is largely what we in the academic sphere call asynchronous, which means that students will have a week to complete all learning activities set out as and when they can within that week. This option is ideal for students who have personal and professional commitments and need a flexible approach to their studies. Our second option is one that we call online live. This is a hybrid approach to online learning that combines weekly, real-time virtual class engagement with self-paced online learning resources and activities. What this means is that students will have 90-minute webinars that they will need to attend at set times, which will be complemented with an asynchronous learning activity. This option is ideal for students who want the flexibility of online learning, but alongside structured real-time engagement with their classmates and their educators. And then finally, not specific to the online campus, but just to touch on our on-campus option. This is structured in the form of a fixed class schedule and has immediate face-to-face interaction with classmates and educators. This option is ideal for students who enjoy a social environment and want the structured engagement of in-person learning. So moving on to your online learning experience. So if we look at studying at SACAP, what do you need in your toolkit? Firstly, you'll need a reliable internet connection. Secondly, you'll need to be familiar with accessing and watching video content online and working with PDF documents. And thirdly, you'd need to be familiar with Microsoft Word and other Microsoft packages such as Excel as an example. What will you receive? Each week, you will receive your academic reading materials for that week, your weekly topics and activities that will be designed for you by your educator, and then lastly, your academic assessments. There are usually 2 per module. And again, as mentioned previously, these contribute to your final grade. We don't focus too much on examinations in the traditional sense at SACAP, but rather, where a module is examinable, we make use of open book assessments rather than traditional exams. And then finally, just moving on to the learning management platform. At SACAP, we make use of digital technology to aid our teaching and learning process. This technology we call My SACAP, and this is the primary space where you will be interacting. You will use My SACAP to access all your material, to hand in assessments, and to interact with your peers and your educators. Shortly, you will be taken on a virtual tour of My SACAP where you will be able to see a class in real time and everything that it contains. Thank you very much. I'll now hand you back to our host, Lisanda.
Thank you very much, Melissa, for that information. And as we move right along to the slides, I'll actually do an actual demonstration of what Melissa was talking about as she showed you our online learning platform, of which it's My SACAP. So this is the My SACAP learning platform that Melissa was talking about previously. So this is the actual My SACAP platform. This is where you will be doing your, accessing your classroom. This is where you submit your assignments and so forth. And obviously, because this is the space that is used for our online students as well as even for face-to-face students, as you can see in front of you, there is an actual post in the My SACAP website that our re-enrollment portal is now open for, obviously for our current students. So obviously, this is the platform where you get all the information that you actually require in order, to successfully complete your journey with us at SACAP. Okay, so now I'll actually show you an actual classroom where where you'll be able to obviously see how does actually each classroom look like and what students will be expected to do in each classroom. Okay, so this is an actual classroom. As you can see from my screen, that this is academic literacy classroom. And so this is like, obviously, maybe it's a first year module that you'll probably be doing when you enroll into one of our courses. And as you can see from my screen that, there's like 25 enrolled students in this class. And that is obviously the maximum number of students that can be enrolled in each of our classes. And from the left-hand side of my screen, you will see that, there's participants, of which obviously you'll be able to make contact with other students that are in your class, as well as, you'll be able to make contact with your educator. And on a week-by-week basis, obviously, you'll be able to gain access to your readings, as well as with any video that is available on the platform for you to actually engage with. And as we run on a 10-week structure, so each and every week will open for you, and you'll be able to participate and engage with the module accordingly. Okay, so this is actually the live classroom, and as you can see, as I'm moving down my screen, that it moves over to week 2 and so forth. So this is how your online classroom will eventually look like when you start your studies with us at SACAP. Thank you. And now, as we just move back to the slides, okay. So as we move right along. Obviously, as you start your studies with us at SACAP, we understand that it can be overwhelming, obviously, when you don't know what is expected of you. And just to put your minds at ease, that when you start your studies with us at SACAP, you do have student support. And part of that support entails us as the online mentors that will walk with you through your journey with your studies. And we offer, student support such as academic support, of which on a term-by-term basis, we do run workshops that comprise of APA, which is methods of learning on how to paraphrase your assessments and so forth, as well as administrative support. So for any administrative related support that students require, we as the online mentors are there to assist students with that, as well as, with student wellness. So it's important that because we understand that a lot of challenges may happen while students are busy with their studies. And obviously we do offer such services where we have our student registered counselors that actually assist students with whatever situations that they may be and that they may be hampered with. Okay, and then also part of that support also include what we call peer-assisted learning. Peer-assisted learning is some of our students that are actually registered as students that actually offer their time to help other students in actually, to improve, for example, if a student is struggling with writing an assessment, so you do have that type of support where you can reach out to us as online mentors, and we are able to connect with other students that are doing exceptionally well academically, that are available to obviously offer that assistance for you as well. Okay, and just as we move right along in the next slide. So as we go into this section, which will cover SACAP's accreditation and recognition. Okay, so SACAP is a leading accredited and independent provider of education in applied psychology, management, and leadership, and offers learners a range of accredited degrees, diplomas, and certificate programs. SACAP is also registered as a private higher education institution and registered with the Department of Higher Education and Training, also known as the DHET. SACAP's qualifications are accredited by the Council of Higher Education, CHE, and registered on the National Qualifications Framework, also known as NQF, by the South African Qualification Authority, that may be familiar to you as SAQA. Our professional psychology programs, which is your BPsych and BPsych equivalent, are professionally endorsed by the Health Professions Council of South Africa, also known as the HPCSA, and leads to the professional registration of registered counselors. So we also have an associate membership with Comensa for all our coaching programs. Okay, so just as we move right along with the session, so why study psychology, for example? So with our applied psychology management and leadership programs that are available, so they're available in these categories. For one, why study psychology? So psychology, the study of psychology ultimately aims to benefit individuals and society in the enhancement of mental health, as well as understanding and solving problems in many other contexts and spheres of human activity. Okay, and then as well as like why would you want to study counseling and communication? Okay, so counselors are are responsive to the needs of individuals and groups in a variety of counseling settings. Okay, given the overwhelming psychosocial and emotional needs evidenced throughout South Africa, there is a growing demand for well-trained counselors in providing supportive counseling services and in the preventative mental health initiatives such as family strengthening, life skills training, as well as social support services. Okay. So another thing is business management. Why study business management? So in addition to managing like your daily operations, business managers need to understand the interrelation between the external business landscape and the psychosocial factors within organizations, and how to responsibly manage people at an individual, team, and systematic level. Okay, just moving right along to the human resource management. So human resource management, also known as HRM, is the process of recruiting, selecting, inducting employees, providing orientation, imparting training and development, appraising the performance of employees, deciding compensation and providing benefits, motivating employees, maintaining proper relationships with employees and their trade unions, and ensuring employees' safety, their welfare, and healthy measures in compliance with labor laws of the land. And then the final thing of why obviously would you study coaching? So a coach is a thinking partner that accelerates learning and development. The coach provides a space for reflection, ask questions to promote insight, and collaborates with the coachee to design actions to achieve their goals and holds them accountable for the changes they want to create. Okay, so thank you for that. And as we just move right along to the next part of the session, I will now hand over to my colleague Jade, who will take you through the qualifications process. Thank you. Over to you, Jade.
Thanks, Lysanda. Good evening, everyone. My name is Jade Williams, and I am the admissions officer at SACAP. I'm just here today to speak about the online offering. And first up, we have our high certificate in counseling and communication skills. This is a vocational program that offers an introduction to communication and psychology. With the high certificate, students gain skills in academic writing, interpersonal skills, and basic counseling knowledge to fully prepare you for a higher education. As a bridging course, the high certificate gives students who have not achieved a bachelor pass or exemption pass in grade 12 access to an undergrad degree in psychology or any field. The high certificate is available full-time for 1 year and part-time for 2 years online, and has a minimum entry requirement of high certificate pass in grade 12 with English above 45% or previous NQEP level 4 qualification. Next, we have our diploma in counseling and communication skills. This is a 2-year vocational program that offers a strong emphasis on counseling and communication skills. The diploma is accredited with the professional body, the ACCREDITATION, Association for Supportive Counselors and Holistic Practitioners. With this accreditation, graduates could register as a holistic or lay counselor. The diploma provides also 200 practical counseling hours, which students will perform in their work integrated learning module towards the end of the program, usually in your last year. Graduates will be qualified to counsel under supervision after this diploma as well. The diploma is available full-time for 2 years and part-time for 3 years. Minimum entry requirement for the diploma is a diploma pass in grade 12 with English above 45% and a previous NQF level 5 qualification as well. Next, SACAP then offers the Bachelor of Applied Social Science degree. It's an academic undergrad degree in psychology, and it's split up into 3 specializations. Each specialization, or all 3 specializations, requires a grade 12 bachelor pass or exemption pass symmetric, and has, with English above 45%, or a previous NQF level 5 qualification. That will give you access to the degree. First specialization for the BAP-SOC-Psy is a dual major in psychology and counseling. Students will develop critical thinking skills and gain understanding in psychology, mental health, human behavior in social contexts. The counseling stream in this degree provides 200 practical counseling hours and competencies which students will perform in their work integrated learning module in the final year of the degree. With the psychology major, this enables graduates to pursue an honors level in psychology or social sciences or related fields. Graduates will qualify to counsel with this degree as well. They will be able to counsel under supervision. This degree is available full-time for 3 years and part-time for 5 years online. Next specialization is our second specialization for the BAP-SOC-Psy. It's a dual major in psychology and human resource management. This degree is aimed at those interested in working in a human resource management or human resource environment of an organization. Graduates will gain an understanding in macro and micro business environments, application of labor law and labor relations, as well as business ethics. The human resource management degree offers 3 months work, offers a 3-month work integrated learning module where students will utilize all relevant HRM skills within a workplace or organization. Graduates will be eligible to pursue an honors or postgrad studies in human resource management or psychology, as well as social sciences. This degree is only offered 5 years part-time online. The third and final specialization of the BAP-SOC-Psy is a dual major in psychology and business management. The business management degree offers 3 months work integrated learning module and provides, the business management degree offers a 3-month work integrated learning module where students will utilize as well relevant business skills with organization. In turn, this degree provides a powerful blend of people and traditional business skills. Graduates are equipped for entrepreneurship, employment within organization, as well as can pursue an honors or postgrad studies in psychology and business management, as well as social sciences. This degree is only available part-time for 5 years online. Next, we have our postgrad programs, which is our Bachelor of Social Science Honors in Psychology. This academic honors is a theory-based honors in psychology. The BSOC-Psy honors degree provides students with competencies in independent research and reporting, as well as self-managed learning, which adequately prepares graduates for a master's level in psychology. The honors also opens up avenues of employment within community mental health organizations, applied psychology, organizational development, education, research, and social development. The psych honors is only available part-time online for 18 months. Minimum entry requirement with this degree is an undergrad degree with psychology as a major. You will look for 65% overall aggregate for your third year psychology modules. Next, SACAP is happy to announce that we'll be launching our Bachelor of Social Science Honors in HRM, Human Resource Management, for next year, first term. This HRM honors is suitable for those aiming towards a professional career as a holistic and dynamic human resource practitioner. This BSOC-Psy honors in human resource management allows graduates to apply a range of HRM principles, theories, and competencies to organizational contexts. The honors opens up avenues also for potential employment in various HR business partner or generalistic roles, such as human resource management, human resource assistant, human resource advisor, and or human resource consulting. The HRM honors is registered on NQF 8 and leads towards a master's degree in human resource management. This BSOC Honours in Human Resource Management is offered only part-time for 18 months online and has a minimum age requirement of an undergrad degree with the HRM major, industrial organizational psychology major, with an overall aggregate of above 65 for that specific major. Next, we have our coaching programs. SACAP's coaching programs, which are now offered on in a blended learning mode for 2021. And this consists of an online evening class, which will be once a week, a face-to-face 4-day intensive modules, and online learning modules for our PGDC program. Our coaching programs are designed for working professionals and are only offered part-time. Next intake will be for second term May 2021. All our coaching programs are also accredited with the ICF, International Coaching Federation, and COMENSA, Coaches and Mentors of South Africa. First up, we have our first short learning program, our 5-month coach practitioner program. This provides an excellent foundation in coaching and aims to introduce students to fundamental coaching competencies, as well as an applied psychology module, which explores tools and modules from psychology to assist you further or the coach further with their coaching practice. The CPP is accredited by the ICF, as I mentioned, and COMENSA, and leads to credentialing with ICF at the entry level as an associate certified coach. The CBP has a minimum age requirement of 3 years work experience in any field, in any job experience. Next, we have our second short learning program, and this has a duration of 6 months. This builds on SACAP's coach practitioner program. It enables students to expand their application of coaching models and tools to further assist clients in personal coaching or life coaching and executive coaching. The program includes an ethics, values, and diversity in coaching module to deepen your ethical understanding of coaching practice. The program also offers an introduction to group and team coaching as well. The Advanced Coach Practitioner Program leads to credentialing with ICF as a professional certified coach and has, like I've said, a minimum age requirement of the coach practitioner. You will need to complete the first 5-month program in order to progress onto the Advanced Coach Practitioner Program. And next, we have our postgrad diploma in coaching, the PGDC as you call it. This is a 2-year program that offers a depth and mastery beyond the 2 short learning programs. With this program, you will harness a signature presence as a coach, create your own coaching model, and explore how to implement practitioner research. The PGDC includes a 6-month supervised client coaching internship and a research paper. This academic program is on NQF level 8 and is perfect for those interested in pursuing a BA or master's in coaching. The postgrad diploma will lead to credentialing as an ICF coach, ICF professional certified coach. Minimum age requirement for this program, because it's postgrad, it will be an undergrad degree or a previous level 7 qualification. And then finally, we have our coaching in the workplace short course. This is strictly online. The coaching in the workplace is an introductory 12-week online short course aimed at managers, supervisors interested in gaining coaching skills to introduce in their current work role. Students will learn how to implement coaching conversations to empower, improve, and motivate for individual and team performance within their workplace. The coaching in the workplace short course includes a 30 hours of ICF accredited coaching specific training hours, which can count towards credentialing with ICF in future. Minimum age requirements for this short course is 3 years work experience as in a supervisory management or leadership role. Previous coaching experience or studies is not required for this short course, so anyone can apply, provided they have the 3 years work experience. The next intake for coaching in the workplace short course will be for 3rd term next year in September. Applications will open usually around June or mid-year for that program. However, the coaching in the workplace is also open for coaching corporate contracts all year round as well. Okay. Thanks, Lysanda. You can go to the next slide. Okay, so next we have the application process. You can see it's 3 steps. So firstly, you'll inquire, find out more information about our programs, what's your best options. It's best to speak to an admissions officer if you're not certain. That you can also inquire on our website. You have inquiry forms on our website. You can also book consultations now on our website, which is new. You can book a phone or virtual consultation with an officer. And that you can find, we'll provide the links in the chat box after the session. We're also, for the first time, also offering booking services for our campus visits. So you can book online to visit your nearest SACAP campus, and that you can also find in our chat box, the links to that page. Well, once you've decided on a program, you can then apply. We'll advise the online option as well, the online application option that is. You'll see the link at the bottom of the screen. It's a very simple process. You submit your online application and you submit and upload your required documents. What's required will be a certified ID, a certified highest qualification, a character reference letter, and an application fee of 300 or 600 specific to the program requirements. You can do all that online as well. There's payment options on our online application. If you are applying for our postgrad programs or our BPsych, you're required to submit an addendum and 2 referee reports with your application. For those applying for our coaching programs, you need to submit a updated CV as well with your application. And next step would be, once you've been accepted for a program, we'll then to register for your program. The first step would be to pay a registration fee. This reserves a place in class for next year or for your specific start. And the next and final option would be then to pay or settle your payment plan for the year. Lysanda, next slide, please. So we have various payment options. We have 3 payment options for applicants. There is a upfront payment for 5% discount, a termly payment, and a debit order form option as well. The debit order will be deducted over 10 months, consecutive months. And this you'll see on the fee structures as well, which is on the website. And that's it from me, from admissions. I'd like to introduce Salman. He will be speaking about our work integrated learning module. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jade, for an overview of the qualifications and processes. Good evening and a warm welcome to all. My name is Salman Kader, and I am the World Coordinator from the Johannesburg campus and a registered counselor by profession. And today I will be sharing a little bit about SACAP's World program with you all. So work integrated learning, also known as WIL, is an explicit feature of many of our undergraduate and postgraduate programs. It is regarded as a rewarding and essential component of a student's learning experience and is a hallmark of SACAP's curriculum. SACAP's vision is to grow and develop as a center of excellence for education, research, and personal and professional development in the field of applied psychology. An integral component of this vision is to form links with various psychosocial organizations in the counseling, community, health, and welfare services. The intention is that this collaborative work will promote excellence in the education and training of students within these industries. So, after countless hours of studying and years of dreaming of being the change, as a SACAP student, you will finally have this opportunity through the WIL program. WIL is rewarding and is the perfect opportunity to apply the knowledge you have learned in class within a real-world placement site. It truly gives many students the opportunity to create change by leaving a giant footprint on the hearts of others. An important aspect of WIL is ensuring that all of our students feel guided and supported on their journey. And this is why WIL students will receive a guardian angel known as supervisors and mentors. Work integrated learning, as per the slide, will also provide you with valuable and practical experience before you graduate, an opportunity to make a positive impact in South African communities, counselor aptitudes and ethical awareness, the confidence to enter into the workplace, and the chance to develop into a particular field. As we move on to the next slides, I will introduce you to the SACAP programs that offer the world experience. With the exception of the higher certificate, the courses that have been shared with you by Jade all have the world component, such as our Diploma in Counseling and Communication Skills, our Bachelor of Applied Social Science, majoring in Psychology and Counseling, our Bachelor of Applied Social Science, majoring in Psychology and Human Resource Management, as well as our Bachelor of Applied Social Science, majoring in Psychology and Business Management, and lastly, our postgraduate diploma in coaching. Thank you for your time. I will now hand you over to the host, Lisanda.
Thank you, Salman. Sorry, if I can just excuse myself. Sorry, I had an issue with my camera earlier on before this meeting. I just wanted you guys to obviously put the face to the name. Now it seems to be working perfectly fine. So first of all, I'd just like to say thank you to our team for sharing information, and obviously if you have any questions, please do pop them in the chat box on our for our live answer session, and that will be happening before we end. I see there's also another question here. It says, I'd like to know about the RPL process. I have a degree in BAPSOC side degree with psychology as one of 4 majors. I do not have the required third year psychology marks for honors for BPsych equivalent, and have been unemployed for ±4 years as a research and admin assistant at the University of the Free State. I'd like to know what kind of employment would qualify me for the RPL process, and how do I go about it? Additionally, if I choose to rather upgrade my third year psychology module marks, would I be considered for honors? Jade, I will hand over this question to you. Just let me know if you want me to read it again.
Hi, okay. So let me just read through that question. So our RPL process, you can apply through RPL for our honors degree. It is a very stringent process for RPL because it's postgrad level. The RPL isn't technically open to everyone. You need to qualify for the RPL process. It would be best to rather submit an application, and we can forward it to an academic to review potential options for RPL. This, it's a bit of a technical question because of your work experience. You don't mention, did you mention your admin assistant and research admin assistant at University of the Free State? Okay. Usually with RPL, you'll submit a portfolio of evidence to support your application. So anything that can support this type of level of study. So with your work, with your life experience, work experience, your previous qualification, we'll look at all of those, and does it support and give you the necessary skill sets and capabilities to study our postgrad program. So I think it's best just to apply or send a question to admissions at SACAP, and then we can maybe follow up from there. This is, I can't really say for certain. I need to see what you've done and have a better conversation with you. I think I'd advise just to maybe just leave your email address, and then we can get hold of you after the session or tomorrow. There was another question. Sorry, I don't think I've answered the second question. What was the second question?
I think that was that.
Oh, with the credits, if they study their non-degree purpose modules, if they improve their third year modules. Yes, so we will look at a non-degree purpose module. So if you've already completed an undergrad degree and you do improve on your third year level, we'll take your second grade for the same modules that you're redoing. So we will look at extra or second redone modules or completed modules. Hope that answers your question.
Thank you about that, Jade. And now the next question, it's from Shanae. I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Is asking, I work from 9 to 6 during the week. What is the best online option for me? And I'll hand over this question to Melissa. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Lisanda. Hi, Shanae. So just to help you out, if you're working from 9 to 6 during the week, it seems like you might need a bit more flexibility in when you can complete your online activities. And I think that for you, the best option would be online flexi. And the reason for that is because there are no set times for you to have to kind of log into the system and complete your activities. Also, there may be webinars, but if the educator does schedule a webinar, in terms of online flexi, they do usually schedule it in the evenings as well. So yeah, I think just in terms of flexibility and what you need in terms of working full time, I think online flexi would be the best option for you.
Thank you so much for that, Melissa. Okay, so the next question, it says, good morning. Will all the study material be made available to us, or do we need to purchase more study material? Okay, I'll answer this question for you, Silveria. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. Term on term, we do have like what we call like the textbook list that that is obviously published, and where students have to purchase the relevant study material for whatever the modules that they have to do. So we obviously advise students not to purchase all the textbooks for their qualification, but then they can just, you know, purchase the textbook for that relevant term. As editions, they do sometimes get updated, and by the time you get to that module in the future, maybe the edition might be obviously old. Okay, I hope that answers your question. Okay, just to move right along. Okay, someone is asking, will you find us jobs after completing our degree? So if I can just direct this question to Salman, and if you can just give us a broad overview of what happens with our students after they've done with their qualifications. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lisanda, and thank you, Unity, for the question. SACAP's programs, and especially the WIL component, will provide you with valuable skills when you are placed into the field at organizations and under strict supervision. And that will enhance your application when applying for job applications. So with that being said, we do not, however, find jobs for our graduates. However, rest assured, our graduates do graduate with a high level of skills that will possibly put you at an advantage over other applicants when applying for jobs. I do hope that answers your question. Thank you.
Thank you, Salman. I see Shanae is also asking, do we need to buy textbooks for the online course? And if so, what is the average price for them? So as I mentioned earlier, Shanae, that like obviously there is a textbook list that is available to students before each term starts. And we do have a relationship with an external stakeholder called Protea Books, okay? So this is a relationship that we have with them, and students would normally obviously purchase their textbooks from there, but it will differ like in prices, because there are some other stakeholders such as FundSkyke and so forth. So it will depend on when, like obviously on that specific time when you have to buy the textbook, because we're not really sure of the prices. So it will depend on that stakeholder. I hope that answers your question. And then Tulso is asking, good evening, why the part-time or online courses so long? Also, are the actual times for full-time options? Lastly, is online flexi and online live have the same course duration? I'll hand over this question to Melissa. Thank you.
Thanks, Lisanda. So in terms of part-time, why the courses are so long, it's just that when students are studying part-time, we allow a longer time period for you to complete the qualification. So let's say, for example, if you are studying full-time, there's a certain amount of modules that you'd be required to take each term. And if you have that time available, then, you know, you'd be able to complete it. Let's say, for example, if it's 3 modules a term, you'd be able to complete it full time. But some people, again, as we mentioned before, just due to job commitments or personal commitments, they just don't have the time to complete a course full time. So we allow them to do it part time, which means that you do less modules per term, which means that it takes a longer amount of time to complete the qualification. So it's just about, you know, in terms of you, what time you have available, or what type of time you have available to set aside for your own studies. And then just in terms of online flexi and online live, it will be the same course duration depending on whether you take it full-time or part-time. So, you know, these are just study options, but in terms of the amount of time to complete the qualification, if you're doing it online flexi or online live, it will be the same course duration. So I hope that answers your question.
Thank you, Melissa. I see there is another question here that says, do you guys provide bursaries for students? So Jade, I'm just going to hand over this question to you.
Okay, I'll just see the name. It's Grace.
Grace.
Thanks, Grace, for your question. So SACAP is a private institution. We are not funded or subsidized by government like other traditional universities. So our programs, we don't offer bursaries or financial aid to students, but students have other options as well. We do accept private bursaries or study loan options as well. And we have a very good option for our students for study loans. It's Fundi. They've helped and assisted our applicants in the past, and a lot of them, obviously you have to meet their criteria, but there has been a few successful applications. So that's a good option for you. With regards to NSFAS, they won't support an application from a private institution, even though regardless of your qualification. So I think the best option would be study loan through Fundi or private bursary option. But unfortunately, we don't do bursaries or financial aid for students. That answers.
Thank you so much, Jade. And then we also have a question from Simone. Is asking, okay, good evening. I'd like to find out more about the various participating organizations in the Johannesburg area that students would gain the 200 hours. So Salman, I'm going to hand over this question to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Lisanda. Thank you, Simone, for your question, and a good evening to you too. Just to answer your question, we do have organizations not only in the Johannesburg area, but the broader context of South Africa as well, that ranges from non-governmental organizations to schools to rehabilitation centers, as well as clinics, as well as places such as, could you find yourself working police stations and so forth. These organizations are signed onto us at SACAP, and when you do go into your work integrated learning and are competent to be placed, you will be given a questionnaire or screening questionnaire that determines where you do live and the organizations within the vicinity of where you are from. I do hope that answers your question. Thank you.
Thank you so much for that, Salman. I think if there's not any more questions, actually we have come to the end of our live Q&A session. And if we did not answer your questions, or if you'd like our team to contact you, please, you're more than welcome to leave your address in the query or in the chat box, and our admissions team will be in contact with you. So you can just do that. So long, I'll just leave this chat open. Okay, so I see just the last question from Tuso is asking Jade, how long is the application process?
Well, hi Tuso. The application process for our general programs, it's a lengthy process. We'll end or close applications next year in February, before term starts in March for first term. So that's the application process. And we get a number of applications. So it is a bit of a wait for processing at this stage of the year or the intake. But it takes you a few days. Once you submit your application, you should get an answer from an admissions officer who's processing your application or some form of feedback in case you're missing documents and so forth. But the process is open now. You can apply for a term 1 2020 application, 21 applications. And yeah, you'll find the links on the website as well.
Okay, thanks, Jade. Thank you everyone for joining us for this open day, and we certainly hope that we've made your decision to study with us a little easier. Please also just remember to leave in your email address in the chat box, and our admissions team will get in touch with you for any more information. And we'll also make this open day obviously available on our social media platforms in case you have missed a few points during the session. Otherwise, everyone at this point is actually welcome to leave, but we'll just, give a moment so that people can live in their contact details so long. Thank you, everyone. All the best.